Hey YouTube, thank you for being a member of the Joy Seeker Patrol. You are a member of my tribe just by watching this, so I appreciate your being here. I am going to be looking at used to be very hard to find deck that's been reprinted twice since. So you want to check the copyright to make sure which deck you're getting and look at the boxes. There's some differences. And that I'm talking about the Hermetic Tarot by Godfrey Dowson. Here's one of the differences you'll see. Right down here. Made by Fournier. Made in Spain by Fournier. And then distributed by U.S. Games. Exclusively by U.S. Games. You can also see this box is a little torn up here, right? So here's the other information you want to see on the box. And I really like being very, very clear about this because it's a big deal. Okay, it's a big deal. Now this booklet, it says it has a booklet in here, but there is no booklet with this deck. We're going to do a flip through. First, I want you to look at the backs. Focus. There you go. Now I'm going to try to do a close-up of the copyright so you can see it. Oh, beautiful. That's what I wanted it to do. Now, we're just going to do a quick flip through like we've been doing. These cards, okay, it's not going to be super quick. These cards are full of symbols. They're very, very good for folks who work with OTO and things of that nature who have a more analytical way of looking at tarot. I love this deck. I'm very fond of black and white decks, but I have a newer version of it, and I'm happy to let this one go to somebody who really wants the old version. The Magician, you'll see these are very much not Rider-Waite-like. Again, symbology all over these things. The booklet would be, you'd really want to have the booklet, I think, if you're not familiar with the symbology. But this deck was created the year I graduated from high school, actually, 1979. So that makes it seriously old. Really? You're not going to focus on the Emperor? What's your problem? Now, I'm sorry, that's the Empress. Maybe that's why they wouldn't focus on the Emperor. Ah. My camera seems to focus better on black and white stuff. So here's a very nice close-up of the Emperor. And they all have different names at the bottom. Sun to the morning. And the Empress was daughter of the mighty ones. Here's the Hierophant. Okay. Lots and lots going on in these cards. I know some people like black and white decks because they want to color them. That is not me. The only black and white deck I've even started coloring was Daughters of the Moon. And I actually have 2 copies of the black and white version, the older one. I went to the Women's Music Festival in not in Lansing, Michigan. At that point, it was in Hart, Michigan, I think was the name of the town. And I met Fiona Morgan there. I'm sure she doesn't remember me, y'all. But I got to circle with her, and Shakina Mountain Water, I believe, was also in that circle. And it was a just beautiful experience. And she would have spare cards at her booth that you could pull. And I would pull one every year I went. I went for 10 years in a row. I don't think she was there all 10 years. She might have been. But I eventually bought a deck from her. I couldn't afford it the first year, and I think it was like $20 or something. It wasn't a lot. And it's got the typical R-O-T-A or T-A-R-O-T, tarot, rota, wheel. Justice. And if you've been watching this, I just did one where the justice was not female that I could tell. Look at that split yin-yang. Isn't that cool? And it's not yin-yang, y'all. It's yin-yang. The Hanged Man. Death. You'll see the zodiac signs associated with the cards in these cards. Temperance. Look at the sacred ibis down here, or maybe it's a vulture. It could be a vulture. So you're going to see a lot of, like I said, can I just repeat myself a whole bunch? The symbols, the symbols, the symbols. You're going to see Egyptian mythology. You're going to see Christian mythology. And I say mythology for all religions. So you're going to see, you know, witch mythology, all wrapped up in this deck. It is very, what you might call esoteric. Come on, devil. Would you focus, please? Devil's giving me a devil of a time. Really? Devil does not want to focus. Okay, we'll use a cheaty finger. Y'all. There he goes. The Blasted Tower, which just cracks me up because I know a lot of us think of it as that Blasted Tower. But I think they're using blasted in a different way here. And I like the Tree of Life and Tree of Life here. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. The Last Judgment, aka Judgment. Trying to see what he's got on his shoulder, but I think it's just a piece of his hat. And the last of the majors, Universe. The Great One, to the Night of Time. Now let's take a look at the suits. I always do swords, wands, cups, pentacles in that order. That almost looks like Bathsheba with the head of Herod. Not Herod. Whose head did she bring? John the Baptist, I think. So I don't know. I'd have to look that one up. But you're going to see a lot of mythology in these. You're going to recognize and, know. And I'm going to just try to make them. All right. And they have Princess. That's like the Thoth deck. And then into the pips, they're very much Marseille style in the pips. And that means basically you see the number of the tool. So you'll see 10 swords, and it's got Gemini down there. So again, you're going to see, and there's Mars and Gemini there, and the 9. But very similar. You see these cards? And I have friends who are very, very good with Marseille style decks. They prefer it. You can actually go to tarot-heritage.com and check in with Cheryl Smith, who is, in fact, the tarot historian. She's excellent at that. She's super smart, super researched. I worked with her when I was the president of the American Tarot Association on the board. And Cheryl's dedicated and analytical. She's very, very good at that. Yeah, some of them aren't going to focus as well, and I apologize. In an effort to not make this a crazy long video, I may not wait for it to focus. Is it going to focus now? I hate it not focusing, y'all, because the line work on this is just beautiful imagery. See that? You're going to see this a lot. The 4. You're going to see Hebrew in here. The 3. And like I said, for people who are very interested in esoteric occult, and arcane style decks, very, very cool. 2 of Swords. Lord of Peace restored. The 3 of Swords is the Lord of Sorrow. The Ace. Here we're going to Wands. And I think one of the reasons I love black and white decks is because they really, by taking the color out for me, because I am so attracted to color, it forces me to look at the decks in a very different way. The Knight of Wands. Definitely fire energy there. The Princess of Wands. And the Princess of Wands is one of the thought decks that I can absolutely identify the fastest. And it shows a woman with a tiger. So, very unique stuff going on here. That actually looks like the York and Lancaster house combined rose to me. You know, where they did the red and white rose together after they joined the houses after that bloody war. Again, the Marseille style, so you get 10 wands. Then you get 9. And 8. Maybe. Very intricate stuff here. Sagittarius and Mercury there on the bottom. One of the things I do before I sell a deck is I go through the deck and I put it in order. It's very important to me that I make sure all 78 or 79 or however many cards are supposed to be there are there. I don't want to sell somebody a deck that's incomplete without being upfront with them. And typically speaking, I'll use an incomplete deck if I can't find replacement cards. When I sell things, I stick tarot cards in them. When I sell like my books and my decks that I'm autographing, I don't stick them in with other decks like this. Seems kind of silly. Okay, Three of Wands. We'll move into Cups next. Here's the 2. And then the Ace. Again, really cool when you look at it really up close and really dive into the imagery. It's not quite as phallic as the typical Rider-Waite. King of Cups. Prince of the Chariot of Waters. And she is the Queen. There's some more of that symbology there. She is the Queen of the throne, to the throne, no, of the throne of waters. Y'all try reading backwards. The Knight. The Princess. Princess to the places of the fools, of the floods. 10. Again, when you get really into these cards, there's a lot going on in them. There's a lot happening. I believe that's the artist mark right there. Yeah. 8 of Cups. Seven of Cups. Six of Cups. And these cards are in such beautiful shape. I think somebody bought them and then just never used them. I've actually never read with them. Because frankly, I'm a little intimidated by some of the occult symbology that I just don't know. And I hate making shit up. Well, that's not true. I am a writer of fiction. But I don't like making it up when I'm trying to read somebody else's cards for them. And 3, and we're going to dive into the Pentacles next. The interconnectedness on the cups really appeals to me. And the 2 of Cups. And if you watch the bottom, there's kind of a story being told down here in the bottom cards. So that's in the bottom of the cards. That's something to watch. Very Rider-Waite, right? Very, very Rider-Waite. Here are the Pentacles, the last suit of the Hermetic Tarot by Godfrey Dowson. I've also often called it Dawson, but it is D-O-W-S-O-N. There's our King with the Bull. Here's our Queen. Again, pay attention to the bottoms. There's stuff going on down there. There's our Knight. Lord of the wild and fertile land. The Princess. And to the 10, this is the pips. Again, the pips are Marseillan style, or what I term Marseille. Others might not. Right now I'm terming it obnoxiously unfocused. There. The 9. The 8. And I like this because the 8 to me is creation and craft work. So a couple of them not being finished is very nice. They're spinning into themselves. That captures that for me. The 7. My camera says if I would stop jiggling about, but I'm a wiggler. Word of Material Success for the 6 is nice because that's a card of generosity in many of the Rider-Waite clones. And here's Material Trouble for the 5 of Pentacles. And that's a very tough based also, having that down there. Here's the 3. Here's the 2. And here's the Ace. Now, if there's a deck you really want to see and you're one of my patrons, head over to the Patreon page. There's a link down below. And tell me if there's a deck you really want to see. If I've got it, I will haul it out and do it for y'all. That was the Hermetic Tarot. It was the first edition of the Godfrey Dowson deck. There are 2 other decks, versions, 1990 and 2006. So enjoy, have a blast with your tarot collections and your tarot cards. And if you have questions, let me know. I love sharing and I love teaching. I'm Arwen, the professional joy seeker. Seek joy, y'all. Pass it on.